Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine Live. I'm Catherine, and I am here finally with our November 2022 Black Friday bonus sketches from the November Virtual Sketch Challenge. And I am so excited to finally get these last two done before the December virtual crop begins this coming weekend. So if you're on my YouTube channel, keep an eye on my community tab. I will be posting the poll for this month probably tomorrow, so we can figure out what my theme for this year was. I have a pretty good, or for this month, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm already thinking of challenging myself with this month. But let's get done with November 1st. So let me get things switched over here. And here we go. Goodness, that one took an extra step than usual, but that's just the way live streaming seems to be going for me this week. Anyways, here is our sketch number 1 from the Black Friday bonuses. I am going to be working with the Polar Lights collection. And this one I've really kind of simplified and changed up a little bit. Actually, I've changed up both of the sketches a little bit. And you'll see here in just a minute, but I'm going to be doing polar lights. I'm holding this up just in case you want to get a screenshot of the measurements. And you're going to see, I mean, not everything's not quite exactly where it's going to be, but this is going to give you an idea. I did pull out 2 of our 4x6 mats and 2 of our 4.5 by 6.5 mats. I am using a sheet of the Totally Tonal Winter collection as my base, and then I am just kind of wanted to go just with this light snow theme here. So let me pull some of these things off so we can put them back on, but I want to show you my base paper first. And that is this really light floral design, but it kind of mimics the snowflake a little bit. The back side of it is this multi-blue design, but this one's kind of tan and white, and I just thought, like I said, that it mimicked the snowflakes, and I thought, yeah, you guys can probably see it really doesn't, what I've kind of had there doesn't really resemble what our sketch is, but when we're done, it kind of does. And I know I've said it I don't know how many times, but sketches are guides. I'm a chef and recipes are guides, and so I kind of take the same approach. And this is one of our designer papers from the Polar Lights collection. It kind of has all these really fun strips on it, but I'm actually using the back side of the paper that has the snowflakes on it to do it's a 2-inch by 12-inch strip across the bottom here. And that's just going to add a nice little accent to our page. And then I had this left over, I think, from my sketch with me. And so this is also from the same exact piece of paper. I love using up scraps. And so here I thought was a great use for it. I'm putting this one about 3/4 of an inch from the left side, maybe. If you want, you can pull out your ruler and what have you, but you all know I just don't do that usually. It's just not my thing. And you know what I forgot to grab, of course, before going live was my parchment board. So I'm going to have to be really careful going across the top of this here with my repositionable tape. This also was from that same piece of designer paper. It says, when it snows, you have 2 choices, shovel or make a snow angels. And so I'm just going to go ahead and place this across the top of our page. Whoops, I'm off just a little bit. Probably about 1/8 of an inch, but it's enough that it matters and you can actually see it. And I may have to pull out my multi-purpose tool. Actually, I'm going to move this down so I can actually see it a little bit better from where I am here. There we go. Whew. Felt like I was working hard on that one. I am going to pull out my multi-purpose tool. Just kind of run it under. You can see I hadn't even pressed it down all the way the first time. because I could tell it was just a little bit off, but there we go. Okay. Whew. All right. So I have the mats I picked. So the large mats are these two, which are going to go kind of in opposite corners. So these are the 6.5 by 4.5 mats. You can see they have different designs on the back, but of course I want the snowflake side. And since this is going to hold a picture, it doesn't really matter that it has this grid in here. Of course, you can use it for a journal box if you decide to use the same one that I picked out, but you know, it's up to you, of course. And then I also picked out two of our 4x6 mats, and I just found this one lovely with the snowflakes and the top and bottom corners. And this side is actually lighter, but it matches the Take Time to Chase the Snowflakes one that I found here that you can actually journal on part of this, because this other side is just a little bit darker. And of course you can use either side, but like I said, I've kind of been liking playing around with color here a little bit. And one of the things that it showed in the sketch was they had part of the, I don't know, like to me, this almost looks like a to-do list. So they had part of this here and then part of it running under this row of what probably is like 4x4 photos going across the page, and then part of it coming out the bottom. So I just wanted to tuck this mat underneath, and then you can easily, like I said, you can easily use this down here as your journal box on this page. But I'm going to go ahead and start placing. So yeah. I like larger photos. If y'all have watched any of my other lives, you know I tend to gravitate towards, let's not trim off a ton of our photos if we can help it. Let's actually just get them printed and get them onto the page. And so that's what this is going to help you accomplish a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with doing a 4x4 photo or a 4x4, cutting your pictures down to that size if that's what you have. But I'm all about trying to make these easy and approachable, and this was how I wanted to do it for this one. It's just one of my things, I guess. And I hope that you all will come back and subscribe and watch it again sometime and see what else I come up with. Because I try to make these unique and show you all some different things. So I hope you enjoy watching what I come up with for these sketches, and I hope you find them valuable to you. I'm actually going to line up this left side here. You can see it's about 1/4 inch in on the page. And so I'm just going to follow that up and keep this line on the right side here. So there we go. We have our mats in place. And then I know I said you could journal there, but I'm going to put, I'm going to put the snow globe down here because I just think it's cute and it works on this page. And I'm going to use some foam squares because y'all know how much I like my foam squares. And so these are just going to go ahead and onto this bottom corner here. And oops, here's this. Going down here, try to get it straight before I push down on these foam squares, because once you push down on them, that's it. And then I also found in our embellishments, this one is an embellishment, this is an embellishment. I'm going to add this to the center of our page because I just thought it was nice to kind of carry on our snow theme through the page. And I cannot even pick this up. Here we go. And then I also have this wonderland that I found in the embellishments that I just really thought that kind of centers this, because it's really just the only dark spot on the page, and it kind of just reiterates and centers it and makes it more eye appealing, I guess, if you will. I mean, obviously your pictures are going to be the main focus, but it's nice to have your pictures on a page that also is eye pleasing as well. So I'm just going to add some foam squares also to this little wonderland because, of course, we're going to have a picture on this mat here, and I want to make sure that this is popped up so I can get my picture in easier. So grabbing off the backs of the foam squares, which I think is almost the hardest part of this entire layout. There we go. So here is our Wonderland going down here. I am not centering it. I am just kind of placing it over to the left a little bit. There we go. And then we're also going to have our snowflakes on the foam squares also because, of course, we need to add our pictures in. And like I said a minute ago, it's a lot easier to get your pictures in if you don't have to contend with embellishments that are in the way, taking up space. That would be easier to put our pictures on. So this is just going to go in here, coming down, and I am going to be careful when I put these down to make sure that they land hopefully on the page and not on one of these mats. But here we go. Here is our falling snowflakes through our page. Just kind of keeping things going here. There we go. So that is it. How easy was that? That was just so much fun. And I'm going to hold it up for you, and then I will hold up the sketch again. But here we go. So we have our snow falling through our page, and then just those extra little pops of color on the bottom and the top. Because once you place your pictures on, your pictures are going to be the color and the focus of the page. So yeah, what did I follow in the sketch? I don't know. I kind of pulled out this top strip here. I liked the photo going this way. I liked the idea of having something going this way as well. I didn't mind that, but I just thought, you know what, I wanted to get one more large picture on my page, and then I knew I had the scrap as well that I wanted to use up. And if you've done my sketch with me, then you have this scrap also. So giving you an idea of how to use that, and I hope you have enjoyed seeing my interpretation of the Black Friday sketch number 1 for November 2022. And I will be on again shortly with sketch number 2. Until next time.